Welcome to the Obesity Matters Wellness Workshop, where we embark on an incredible journey towards better health and wellness together. Whether this is your first time or you've been with us since we started the program, we're so grateful that you're here. My name is Rachel. I am the Vice Chair of Obesity Matters, and I am your host for this year-long program. Today's topic: sleep, stress, weight, the hidden metabolic disruptors. It's going to be a very interesting conversation. We have some very well-informed people when it comes to the topic of sleep, I would say. So today we are joined by Dr. Rishi Handa. Welcome, Rishi. Let's start with you sharing a little bit about yourself and the work that you do in obesity medicine before we dive into the conversation today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be a part of this. I was very excited to see the invite. I'm so happy to see so many of you are on the call today. Getting right into it, my name is Dr. Rishi Handa. I'm an board certified internal medicine specialist. I'm also the director of Derm Care Clinic in Oshawa in Ontario. And it's a center where we focus on comprehensive approaches, treatment approaches to chronic disease states. And we have an emphasis on obesity, diabetes, and other metabolic conditions that oftentimes travel together. This is a very nice topic, very important topic. I think that we're all addressing today.
Well, we're so glad that you're here to talk to us about this because it is so foundational in our health. So let's kind of start with, I think, what a lot of people think. If I just go to bed earlier, that's going to give me a good night's sleep. So why is it so much harder than just going to bed earlier?
I think just that thought that just going to bed earlier is one of the biggest misconceptions out there. So it's definitely worth unpacking it. I think it's important to first define what sleep is. So sleep isn't just the absence of wakefulness. We know that it's a very heavily actively regulated process that happens in the brain. As many of you could probably attest to, you can't just force it any more than you can't force your heart to just slow down by thinking about it, right? The brain has dedicated systems in place. We call them arousal systems that are driven by very unique molecules called neuropeptides. And these neuropeptides that I'm referring to are called orexins. Our brain is made up of neurons, and these orexins are made by the neurons. And their job is to keep all of us alert and awake in a healthy cycle. We know that orexins naturally sort of wind down once we get to the evening, which allows us to sort of go to sleep, and sort of sleep promoting circuits then can take over in our brains. But unfortunately, in a lot of us, particularly those, of us that are living in chronic stress, obesity, metabolic dysfunction, the system gets stuck on the on position. At nighttime, the orexin pathway remains on. And that's why just telling someone, hey, you can't sleep, just go to bed earlier. It's like telling someone, hey, you have high blood pressure, just try to relax. The underlying sort of neurobiology does need to be understood.
It makes sense. Like what you're saying is you can't just sort of switch off your brain at night. We can't just will it to happen, unfortunately. What are then some of the things that we can do to, like, if we can't just say, hey, brain, it's time to sleep right now, shut down all that activity? Like, what are some of the things that we can do?
Before I address that, I'm going to sort of, try to explain a little bit better, what exactly is happening. We know that there are certain pathways, right, that exist. And so we do need to make sure that we can do whatever is possible to keep that hyperactivity at minimum. Try to limit things that excite you too much, too close to bedtime, right? So there's this typical sleep hygiene that we all need to follow. That would be, keeping our beds and bedrooms typically for sleep, not to eat there or watch TV. Just keep it a space where we would just relax and rest. Another, common disruptor of sleep is caffeine. A lot of us drink caffeine, enjoy caffeine, coffee, tea. As time goes on, our bodies react a little bit differently to caffeine as well. So once upon a time, you might have been able to drink that pot of coffee right before bed. Some of my patients do still. Quite extreme, but they do, and they can sleep according to them. A lot of folks cannot as time goes on. They become more sensitive to these types of things.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today, remember that our journey towards better health and wellness is not a solitary one. We are here to support and uplift one another. See you next time.